Hey everybody, it's Nicole or Nikki Bricks here, and today we're going to be taking a look at what is probably my second favorite LEGO Star Wars set of this year. That is of course excluding the UCS Republic gunship because that's just not a fair competition. That's right, we are going to be looking at the Mandalorian Starfighter. So this set is 544 pieces and comes with 3 of the most amazing minifigures that I have seen this year. Now, I am a total Clone Wars nerd, so I might be a little bit biased, but I just love this set, you guys, and I can't wait to take a look at it with you. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and start off by taking a look at those minifigures. So first up here, we're going to start off with Bo-Katan. And I'll also begin by saying that these minifigures that we're about to take a look at are some of my favorite minifigures that we've ever gotten in LEGO Star Wars. In part because they all have something new about them and that makes them really, really exciting, but also because they just look amazing. And I've started off Bo-Katan here without her helmet or her jetpack so that I could show you the back printing really quick. They gave her Beskar that nice silvery shine that we also have for the Mandalorian. Her torso printing does look very good, but I actually really, really love her leg printing, especially the blue on her knees here. And just the shine of Beskar on her legs, it just looks really good. I love the blasters. I don't think I have these blasters in my collection, and I was so excited when I opened the bag and saw them. I'm fairly certain that we haven't seen them in quite a while, and it hasn't been since like Indiana Jones that we've gotten these, so definitely love those. I think they did a great job with her hairpiece. And one of the coolest things about this minifigure is that she does have a new face printing because she's never been made before. And it does come with this headband of hers, which I'm pretty sure is Beskar, just based on the way that it's shining like the rest of her armor. So on this side, you do get the more angry, more action-ready Bo-Katan face, and on the back side, we have a kind of smirky smile. I don't personally choose to display the smile because I don't see her as a very smiley person, but my favorite part of this minifigure is the helmet. Bo-Katan has one of the coolest Mandalorian helmets ever. And the work that they did on this printing, it just looks absolutely amazing. And I'm just super happy with it. I think the people who really wanted this set and are going to buy it are Clone Wars fans. And LEGO actually did a really good job doing justice to these minifigures, so props to them for doing that. Like I said, the jetpack does cover her back printing, but truthfully, I don't think this minifigure is complete without her jetpack. She just looks amazing when you have the full ensemble put together. For Bo-Katan, Beskar, face printing, helmet, weapons, it's all extremely well done. Next up here, we have the Mandalorian Loyalist, one of Bo-Katan's followers. He also comes with those really neat Indiana Jones blasters. I guess if they're Indiana Jones, they can't be blasters, but now they're blasters. His torso and leg printing look very, very good. The colors match the Starfighter and Bo-Katan's own armor perfectly. The helmet printing is also very well done. I do like the work that they did there. Now, this is just a random Mandalorian Loyalist, so he doesn't have a face printing. You just get one of those black Lego heads. And if you remove his jetpack, you can see he just has blue painted Beskar on the back. No crazy printing, but again, still very impressive. Now, last but certainly not least, we have Gar Saxon, and it was almost difficult for me to say that this is my favorite minifigure in the set, but without a doubt he is. It's only a minor struggle because Bo-Katan is really cool, but I mean, look at this minifigure. He has a new helmet mold that's supposed to mimic Darth Maul's horns, and it just looks so cool. The yellow coloring on the visor looks good. It's painted to kind of reflect Darth Maul's face too, as is the rest of his armor. Gar Saxon painted his armor to reflect his loyalty to Darth Maul. It's supposed to look just like him, and it looks so good in minifigure form. So on top of having one of the coolest helmet molds for a LEGO Star Wars figure, we also have this incredible torso and back printing that is brand new. I mean, just look at the detail on this. Not only is it painted in this really sick design, but it's also supposed to look worn out, a little bit beat up, and you can see the Beskar kind of bleeding through different areas. He's just an incredibly impressive minifigure and a staple in my collection now. I absolutely love him. And again, he does have one of those new old blasters that we just haven't seen in a while. He also comes with a custom face printing just on the one side, but it looks amazing. I think that is a very good Gar Saxon impression, actually. He's got a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, and he looks, you know, he's ready for business. He does not mess around. But as cool as that face printing is, nobody's ever going to be taking off this helmet, so much appreciated, but I mean, look at this guy. Him, Bo-Katan, the Mandalorian Loyalist, and who am I kidding, the Mandalorian Starfighter. Everything is a selling point. This whole set is just amazing. So now taking a look at the actual Starship, I'm gonna start out by saying that a lot of people, including myself, were just over the moon that LEGO was producing this ship. And that's because this is just one of the coolest ships in Star Wars. Mainly because of its spinning feature, the way that the ship takes off. Okay, that's better. So basically, when the ship is landed, the wings are turned up like this, and the cockpit kind of just opens up so that your minifigures can get in there. And when it takes off, the wings fold down, the cockpit turns so it stays upright, and it flies in this sideways position, and it's just really, really cool. It's always been one of my favorite ships in Clone Wars, and I was so excited when we saw it in The Mandalorian. Hopefully we really get to see a lot more of that. So before I really get into it, I will say that there are a few problematic features with this design. One being that if you want it to technically look correct when it's landed, these wings need to be up. And the underbelly of these wings is pretty ugly because they don't have you fill in both sides, which is something that I really wish we had done. It kind of reminds me of the Bad Batch shuttle in that way that you just kind of see when the wings are folded up, you just have all the ugly backsides of LEGO pieces, and that's just not my vibe personally. I just don't think that it looks as clean. So I do prefer to keep mine displayed with the wings down, but then that's not technically correct because it doesn't land like this. Again, for it to be correct, this cockpit has to be turned on its side, and that just doesn't make sense when you're looking at it in a landing position. So actually what I'm going to be doing for this set is buying a wall mount and just having it sit up on my wall with the cockpit turned like it is flying through space. Otherwise, I couldn't really tell you how to display this without showing the underbelly of the ship, which is just kind of unfortunate. So if you don't care about that, that's great, but if that bothers you too, then you might have to buy a stand for the set as well. Now, I know we're off to a semi-negative start here having said that, but I actually have to say, you guys, that this is one of my favorite LEGO Star Wars sets that I own. I mean, the spinning feature of the cockpit alone is just so cool. And I think they did a really good job replicating exactly how the ship does look, especially this cockpit area here. It can turn around 360 degrees, which is really cool. You can see we've got some stud shooters, on the side here some flick fire missiles. And I think that they did a pretty good job designing this, to be honest with you. It just looks really impressive. There is space for just 2 minifigures here, just where these white tiles are, and they don't clip in, they just kind of sit in there and will kind of loosen up if you jolt it around. I think the design of the wings was so well done. I mean, the layering of the different shades of blues and the gray, it's honestly nearly flawless. I mean, compared to the actual ship, they replicated it really well. And looking, oh, just shot off a missile, okay. And looking at the back, you can see we have a couple of engines and a spinning turret that does actually move 360 degrees and breaks quite often when you do it, just so you know. But it is cool because the actual Starfighter does have this, and I wasn't expecting to have such good mobility with it. I really just think that this is such a good looking ship, you guys. It is extremely impressive the way that they were able to design this. And I mean it genuinely when I say that this is one of my favorite LEGO Star Wars sets, not just of 2021, but possibly ever. But I am a Mandalorian nut, so, you know, there's that too. Okay, so back to the underbelly of this ship. It's not impressive. I don't like when we do this in LEGO. I very much understand why we do. It makes the set lighter, it's cheaper because we don't have to pay for all these extra pieces. But again, especially when you have a set like the Starfighter, that when it's landed, these wings fold up. I mean, you don't want that to be the way that it looks when it's displayed, and unfortunately that's just kind of what you're stuck with. Another problematic thing is that it is kind of tilted because it's so heavy on this side, and there is no landing gear on this ship. So essentially it sits crooked because you have these landing gear pieces that just kind of help it balance, but it's not balanced because it sits crooked. And you could move these down here, but then you run into the issue of not being able to turn the cockpit because it gets stuck on the wings here. You can see that there wouldn't be any room if you moved this over here. Tried it already and it didn't work out, so that is also unfortunate. And I do believe that the original Starfighter, because this is the second time that they've done a Mandalorian Starfighter, the first one did have retractable landing gear, which was very useful and it looked good and it worked well enough. So I don't really know why we didn't do that, but this is what we have. It's like I said before, I am going to be purchasing a wall mount for it because otherwise it's just not really displayed right, and I'm not putting the wings up. It's upsetting to me how the bottom looks. I feel weird. I feel like I'm complaining so much about this ship, but I mean it, you guys. It's like my favorite ship this year. I love it so much. And I'm wondering if I kind of loosened one of my pieces because mine is sitting sideways right now. It's not the most stable thing, that's for sure. But if you love the Clone Wars, if you love Mandalorians, if you love Bo-Katan, I mean, this set is for you because it's fun to build, it looks amazing, the design very closely resembles the original Starfighter, and you get, honestly, in my opinion, 3 of the coolest LEGO Star Wars minifigures ever. It's the first time we've ever gotten them. They're extremely well done, and they all have new printings. I mean, this is a very impressive set, especially for the price that you pay for it. It feels silly to say so, but I think I'm gonna give this set a 10 out of 10. I seriously love it, and I highly recommend that you guys pick it up, again, especially if you love Clone Wars. I'm also anticipating we're going to be seeing this set a lot more in The Mandalorian. We did get a good sneak peek of it when we saw Bo-Katan, and that was very exciting for me. But anyway, you guys, that is my review of the 2021 LEGO Star Wars Mandalorian Starfighter. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I actually had a lot of fun talking about this Starfighter, and I hope you found it entertaining or informational in any way. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you next time.